All right, let's take a look and see what's happening here in the market. We're looking at the S&P 500 futures here. We'll look at the weekly. We'll look at my trade that I made today. Yeah, we'll look at the daily. We'll look at the intraday charts. So let's get busy. We know we're also going to look at the VIX as well. Very interesting development in the VIX, which for those who don't know, that's volatility, and volatility has a direct impact on the stock market indexes or indices and how the direction they trade in, okay? And the magnitude that they trade in and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's get going here on the weekly chart. You can see today is Tuesday. So this big candlestick right here is 2 days into the week. And yeah, we've got so far three down weeks. And you can see the SMI is doing that. And look at the MACD trying to roll over, finally touching, beginning to see it touch and roll over here on the weekly. I mean, wow. I mean, we're way up here. This is still up at 181. Okay, and even though we could come down and do some of this stuff like this, I mean, this thing could just, it could be a long time. Look how long it took for this to run from here to here. You know, it was from August all the way through November, right? This was actually, yeah, so I call it August and the third week of October. Okay. So 2 months, all of August, all of September, and another 3 weeks. That's, we talk about 11 weeks, maybe a little more than 11 weeks worth of, 11 weeks. Okay, are we gonna get this right here? I don't know, but we are extremely elevated on the MACD. So doesn't mean it's gonna give it all up right now, but there's still, I mean, there is plenty of room for this to come down. All right. Now, I think we will see like some bounces in here. Like we might get a bounce right here going into early part of May. Right? We might get a bounce here. Like in the early part of May, we may. Late April, we may get a bounce right in there. There's probably going to be a bounce somewhere in this area. I don't think it's going to be big enough to take out the all-time high, but I think we'll get some kind of little bounce in there. It may just show up as price tracking sideways, and not so much as a big bounce. I mean, you can see what happened back here, right? You got 2 weeks with a bouncy bounce, and then it continued down. So I think some people are going to get excited about this. Like we'll see something like this happen. Some people are going to get excited. They're going to think that the pullback is done. You're going to hear people say, "Oh, that's it. Pullback's done. Bull run, baby." Yeah, everybody's going to get all excited, and they're going to get disappointed by bam. They're going to get hammered. I can almost guarantee it's going to happen. You're going to see some type of event like this, right? You like that? I guarantee buyers who have a bias towards buying are going to get all excited about something like that coming up here. And they're going to think that the bear, this little mini bear pullback is done, and they're going to be wrong. Okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't profit during these couple weeks of, which will probably come in here somewhere, of long side trading. If you feel like you can do that, that's fine. Just understand you'll be doing it within a bearish trend, which that in of itself is within a big, huge bull trend that we're still probably not completed on. It'll be somewhere out here probably. All right. So the weekly stuff is there. There's the supports. Could run out of gas here a little bit, pulling back, and get a little bouncy bounce going on here, and then continue downward. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but it's probably going to happen somewhere in here. And then I see it pulling back down into middle of June, really late May, middle of June, kind of in this area. Okay. There's the supports, 50.63. I think eventually we're going to get down to this 49.37, maybe even 48.69. I think it's going to happen. One of these two is probably going to happen. Okay. All right. And it could go deeper. I mean, this thing could extend, especially if we see, like I said before in my previous videos, if we see price, whatever, does one of these deals, if we see, I don't know, maybe it bounces again. If we see price like out in here, like it blasts past this anticipated cycle low and ends up being way over here, watch out. That could get deep. Okay, right now I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just you need to be aware of that sometimes when sell-offs happen, they sometimes run long. All right, let's go. Let's switch over to my trade for the day, and then we'll look at the rest of the charts. Okay, so here's my trade for the day, $825. No, it wasn't a $4,000 day today. Not every day can be that. Last week, I think I had $7,000 or $8,000. Yeah, it was like $8,000 day. Okay, you can't always get those days. Okay, those days will happen when you have the market pulling back aggressively like this. But today was an $825 day. We had a really small range day, and I don't remember what the total range was, maybe like 30 something. I think it was less than 40. So it wasn't a big day. But I've talked about this before. When you get a kind of a smallish range day, this is futures I trade, the E-mini here, the ES. Funky looking E. When you're trading the futures product, even on small range days, you can still make some nice money. And I know I've kind of beat this horse down as an old saying, what's the point of beating a dead horse, right? The horse is dead, stop beating on it. So I know I've kind of reiterated this quite a bit. But this is where futures, like I talked about before, I think over the long haul, over long periods of time, if you're trading futures, you tend to make more profit. Let's say over a period of a year. You're trading throughout the calendar year, right? You're trading. This is where futures are going to beat options probably in the long run. You're just going to be more profitable because you can pick up profit on the small and medium days. Okay, whereas options can be hard to profit on small days, right? You don't get enough volatility. Options don't pay, right? A little bit of hit and miss. Now, I'm not saying every day is raining money with futures either, because you got to be really good with your timing and you got to be good with your direction, of course. But overall, futures should be more profitable because here's a perfect example. Today it was a small range day and I still made $825. Yes, of course, account size has something to do with it, and there's other factors. But today was a good day. I mean, you can see I just was really patient. I just traded 2 contracts. It was 1 trade only, right? I went short last night. I could tell the market was really struggling to pull back, and I had my been using what's called an OCO order, and so instead of it being a single pair, it'll say one cancels the other. It basically just means you have a stop limit. In this case, since the market's going down, my stop limit's up here, and my limit to profits down here, let's say. So this would be a stop, I'll call SL, stop limit, and down here it's just a regular limit. So I'm playing a kind of a wide berth strategy here to let it run and do its thing. And I had it pretty low because the market's been pulling back aggressively. But I noticed I was up really late last night watching the market and playing some chess online and those other stuff. Anyway, what I noticed was the market was really struggling to pull back. I said, oh, okay. That's why you got to pay attention to the market, guys and gals. You really got to pay attention. So I readjusted this morning, or early morning. I readjusted my limit to not be so aggressive. And I was able to close the position. The limit got hit, and I made $825. So these are things you got to pay attention to. The dynamics of the market are constantly changing, right? All right, so that's a pretty good day, $825. Boy, if I could make this every day, just think about that. That's over $4,000 a week. Okay, and I'm not saying this is going to happen every week, but you do. If you do 50 times 4, what do you get? You're getting 200, right? This is a number, approximately a number of weeks in a year. We add in the zeros. We get $200,000 a year, guys. I mean, how many would you take $200,000 a year right now? I know I would. Now, am I saying I'm going to make $125 every day? And no, I'm not saying that. I'm just, you know, if you're projecting out, you know, again, I think you get the point of why futures are so powerful, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the daily chart. We'll look at the trades of the day, and I want to look at the VIX too. This is the daily chart, and we're looking at today was a really small day. Like I said, it was 44. But you can see it's, you know, it's this little dinky candlestick compared to what's been going on. The body's pretty small. Opened up at 51.01 and closed at 50.92. So down about 9 points for the day from the open. I think the futures are still trading right now. They're just almost getting ready to close. So really small day. Obviously, you can see that this support at 50.85 is holding up the market a little bit, right? Got support right here. Just pause right here, just sitting here. Could see a little bouncy bounce here. Don't know for sure what's going to happen. And then down into April 22nd, which is, you can see it right here. It might get down into there. Maybe it bounce again over here, which is kind of late April, really early May, like late April. I could see maybe another bounce happening in there. It's hard to say if we're going to get a bounce right here, right now, or it's going to be more like the very end of April, and then I could see it pulling back into May 8th. How low? I don't know. You can ignore the zero as far as where prices. I'm just kind of drawing the pattern. But like I said on the weekly, I do think we'll see something down in this area. 49.70, 49.36, 48.72. It's going to be like somewhere in this area when this thing's all said and done. And like I said before, it could go deeper. Okay. But there's probably going to be a little bounce in here somewhere. It might even be like a week or two of a bounce. Because you can see this is getting a little bit exhausted. The MACD is beginning to touch the zero line. That's very common to see the market stall. So the market could bounce here, or it could track sideways as it starts to touch the zero line in the MACD. Very common to see the market just like put the brakes on, reverse direction for a little bit. All right. Okay. There's some dates there. Like I said, May 22nd, May 8th. Those are kind of cycle lows. And out here, we've got the end of May, beginning of June, and June 16th. This, to me, is the hot spot out here where I think we're going to see price. I might even see it here in May 8th, because there's a couple cycles that kind of line up here. But really, the hot spots are kind of out here, late May, early June, mid-June. I think it's where we're going to see are really the last of this big price decline. And like I said on the weekly chart, if it continues past that, date-wise, and we start getting deeper, that's going to impact the bounce going into the late, kind of mid to late summer and whatever else. Okay, meaning it wouldn't be as high. All right, let's look at the daily, the intraday charts, and see where the trades of the day are. All right, here we are on the 15-minute chart. I guess I can change this drawing set to say 15. Not that it matters. I think they're the same. Yeah. So the 15-minute chart, let's see where the trades of the day are. We got a Get Us Plus indicator right here pretty early in the morning, pre-market at about 6:15. And eventually it made good about, maybe about a half an hour later, right? Short it, eventually just does really, really well all the way down into here. This is a super choppy day. You can tell, look at all these. Look at all of these candlesticks at upper and lower wicks. A really tough day to trade for most traders. And make any kind of profit on a day like today. So even though the range was like 40, it was extremely choppy. But in any case, this 6:15 signal from the Get Us Plus indicator was actually pretty good. A little bit of patience, wait for the rollover, you're good to go. You're probably making about, I could see an entry somewhere right in this area, about 51.15. And I can see an exit right around 50.90. So that's pretty snazzy. 15 points plus 25 points right in this area right here. 25 points, really nice. Here was a signal here. I mean, the signal wasn't great. It was okay. It wasn't great. I don't really, when I see choppy days like this, I don't like to, especially mid-morning. Ugh, I just don't like to trade it. Look at this craziness. Look at this. Came all the way down to 50.78, chopping all the way up, back way up here to 51.25, whatever it was, 51.23. I mean, just madness, right? From way down here to way up there, just chopping all over the place. Pretty ugly stuff. When you see these choppy small days, don't trade mid-morning. Just leave it alone. It's just not worth trading. Now, there was a good trade at the end of the day. This one came in at 215. Look at that. Right there, 215. Nice trade. An entry probably right around 51.10 and finished off at about 50.90. So again, another 20 points. Maybe you catch 15 of that. You don't catch all 20. Right? Maybe you catch 15 of this. So 25, 35, 40 point. I think it's realistic. You could have caught 40 points today trading futures using the GITTIS Plus indicator. Right? I don't really think this is very tradable in here. So I think your trades are, this GITTIS Plus indicator here. Let me clean up the screen. The two trades that really stood out to me for the day were this one and this one. Okay, and you should be looking. It's kind of hard to explain this part, especially to new traders. Or the market will give you a sense of what the range is going to be for the day, especially as you get towards the end of the day. You'll have a sense about the range of the whole day. Okay, even over here, pre-market going into, going to the opening bell, you kind of get a sense for what the range of the day is going to be. That's a little bit intuitive. It's kind of hard to, I don't know if you can really teach that, but for now, for new traders, especially get towards the end of the day, you'll pretty much have a sense for the range for the whole day for sure by then. Okay, and that's what makes this trade over here really powerful, right? Because now you have a sense for the range of the day. You see the market begins to pull back. You can trade this with confidence, right? You can pick up 15 points here. And in futures, that's pretty big money, okay? 15 points on one contract would be $750. On two would be $1,500. Okay. So even if you just trade one E-mini in here, you probably made about $750. All right. So those are the trades today to me that really saw really super nice. Let's take a look at the VIX. All right, so this is the weekly chart in the VIX. We'll look at the daily too. Some of these cycles are really kind of hard to pick out just simply because the VIX can get really choppy. VIX is notorious for having long wicks and above and below and la, but you can still see the patterns. Like this one's pretty obvious. This one's pretty obvious. This is pretty obvious. Obvious. Okay, this one's pretty obvious, but it's a little choppy in here. It's pretty ugly. But you can see this one came down pretty obvious. So these cycles, for the most part, are pretty easily identifiable. Okay. And this rising phase has happened a little bit early. It happens sometimes. Like, let's see if I can pick another one. See how this happened over here early? Let me erase this. You can see that the cycle low really was right here. But it started early and rose early, right? Same thing over here. Like it's starting early here. Let's see. Yeah, May 12th. Whereas this one was 9/4. This started on October 15th, about 2 weeks ahead. So this one's May 12th. This is about 3.5 weeks ahead. So VIX is just trying to go positive on momentum here. Looks like to me the SMI's got some room to run. So could see more here, right? I mean, it could really potentially really take off and get up into the 20s. Yeah, could really start to take off for quite a while here. Especially, I mean, look over here. You see how you get this momentum starting to break above the 0 line? See that? SMI responds. Get this big run up. You get a massive pullback for like a week. Volatility just crashes. And then it takes off again. And we may see something like that here. Right? We may see like a pause in volatility. Especially as it hits the 0 line on the MACD. It may do a little pause, volatility drops, and then shoots up again. It may not do this exact scenario like we see over here, but it may do something like that. And that's why I said earlier in the video, you might see like a week or two of the S&P 500 and some of the other indices have some green, upward price action for a little bit, as the VIX crosses over the momentum line, and the market goes into pause mode. Volatility drops, prices go up, and then it crosses for good, like it makes a strong crossover, and volatility goes nuts. And it's getting way up into the low 30s here. So we'll wait to see how this plays out, but it looks like to me momentum is slowly gaining ahead of steam here. All right, slowly starting to get going. And this is the daily VIX, and sure enough, you can see today had a pause and volatility pulled back a little bit. That's why the market was trying to go up today. That's why I had chop, because this paused. See, kind of paused right here. See, late April. This one out here is the middle of May. Yeah, see, and then late May is potentially a really good volatility spike out here as well, which would line up with the stock market's decline. All right. Super nice. Okay, if you want to become a member, that's awesome. There's a discord.com link in the description below the YouTube video here. Make sure you read those instructions carefully, then click on the link. It's going to bring you over to get a server. Then click on server shop. Brings you over here to this page. Guys and gals, $7.99 a month. I mean, this is an amazing deal. The streaming charts are down here for the S&P 500. You can just click on it. You get the 5-minute, the 15-minute, the 1-hour charts. You get the Get Us Plus indicator that we looked at today for the trades a day. Also, the 1-hour chart has the cycles on there, which is really nice. There's also streaming chart for gold. Okay, so when you become a member, just ask me in the member chat, hey, get us, where is the link for gold? And I'll give you the link. You can go see the gold stream. And both of those products, the S&P 500 stream and the gold stream, both send alerts to the respective alerts channels. So an alert will go here and an alert will go here. Every time they Get Us Plus indicator thinks there might be a trade. So these are linked. Really nice, yeah. Premium symbols, I put those in there every day, Monday through Thursday. I saw the VIX in there, as a matter of fact, on the future symbols. There's an indice, so some industry symbols in there. There's optional stocks in there. So really nice. Might want to check them out. Okay, Get Us Only post. This is where I put the link for the video every day, Monday through Thursday. So if you want to watch the video, you can go in there and watch it. Or you can watch on YouTube, either way. I also post in there every night when the nightly email goes out. So when the nightly email goes out, you get notified. So you might want to right-click on this channel as well and turn notifications on. You do the same thing here if you want to watch that or this one. Speaking of the nightly emails, make sure you put your email address in the emails only channel when you join. And then you'll get a daily chart of the S&P 500. It has the daily cycles on there. It has the support and resistance lines on there. And I usually give at least a couple sentences of what I think the market's going to do the next day. Okay, I do keep track of slower activity, which I noticed lately slow activity has been pretty strong. And I predicted some earthquakes a few weeks back that actually happened. I think we're going to see some more coming up real soon because it looks like solar activity is increasing again. So a pretty cool channel. Keep track of solar activity there, how it impacts the world, and yes, even the markets. Okay, S&P 500 in the member chat, just for all the regular member chat takes place. So think about this. Everything in this vertical rectangle you're getting for $7.99 a month. You're getting gold and S&P 500 streaming charts. You get the alerts that go along with it. You get premium symbols every day. Okay, you're getting the daily video Monday through Thursday. You're getting the nightly email Monday through Thursday. Okay, and if you have any support issues, you can put it in member chat, which usually just means, the only support issues that will ever come up is someone's not getting their email, and then I go figure out what's going on and fix it. Okay, got to talk about the rules. Please read the rules when you join. If you break the rules, that's going to be your fault because you didn't read them. So read the rules, okay? And there's a refund rules. There's a disclaimer in there that I do not give financial advice. And no matter what anybody says on this server, me or anybody else, everything is educational purposes only. No financial advice is implied whatsoever. And the same thing for this video, okay? And all videos for that matter that I put out. Lastly, there's a rule in there. Please be nice to everybody else. Be respectful. Do not post dirty, nasty stuff on the server. Don't post any nasty words. Won't tolerate foul language. Okay, no vulgar stuff. No links to vulgar or nasty things. And please don't bring your leftist political junk on my server. Okay, I don't want to hear it. This is a conservative environment. And yes, you can join, of course. I don't care what political affiliation you are. But don't bring your politics, your leftist politics onto my server. Okay? You do all that, we're getting along great. All right? I think that pretty much covers everybody. Happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. Talk to all real soon again next time.